Look at this silver Sharpie marker. It's cheap. It's plastic. The ink is drying on a crumpled napkin because the person holding it has physically lost the ability to grip. Their nervous system is screaming. This isn't just about pop culture fandom. It's about the ancient, hardwired machinery of the human brain reacting to a high-status alpha. We call it a celebrity surprise. Biologists call it a status-driven neurochemical flood. The truth is, these moments are the most expensive authentic products Hollywood ever manufactured. We crave the touch of the elite because our DNA tells us that proximity to power equals survival. It is a biological imperative we cannot ignore. Think about the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in Hollywood. A man stands perfectly still in a tattered leather jacket. His face is painted with stage blood and prosthetic gashes. Fans lean in. They smell the faint scent of cigar smoke and expensive cologne. They think they are touching silicone. Then, the statue blinks. Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't just an actor here. He's a predator playing with prey. The scream that follows isn't just excitement. It's a primitive alarm. Your pupils dilate. Your heart rate hits 140 beats per minute. The brain is struggling to reconcile the inanimate with the godlike. You need to subscribe to prepare your mind for the psychological shifts coming to the industry next year. Hollywood knows your biology better than you do. They spend millions to orchestrate these unscripted encounters because a viral video of a crying fan is worth more than a Super Bowl ad. It's the ultimate social proof. Look at the edges of the frame in any of these videos. You'll see the shadow of a boom mic. You'll see the reflection of a producer in a glass door. They aren't capturing a moment, they are harvesting a biological reaction. If this breakdown feels like a cold shower, it's because you needed the wake-up call. Subscribe before the next layer of the curtain is pulled back. Take the 2015 Adele sketch. She wore a prosthetic chin. She stood in a line of impersonators. She pretended to have stage fright. The other women, the real fans, comforted her. They touched her arm. They offered words of encouragement to a stranger they thought was a loser. Then she started to sing. The air in that room changed instantly. It didn't just get louder. The atmospheric pressure seemed to drop as 20 brains simultaneously realized they were in the presence of the source. Look at their hands. They fly to their mouths. This is the universal human gesture for threat or wonder. The brain cannot distinguish between the two in the first half second. This is a scripted narrative masquerading as a miracle. It's a beautiful, terrifying glitch in our evolution that the industry
What is up
has
with
learned
the
to
fouling?
trigger
Why
at
would you
will.
say you're fouling so much
Look
out
at
here?
who profits from your tears.
Yours.
Could
It
safely
isn't
fill
the
out the
fan.
stands. And
It's
knowing
the machine. You there, sitting in the dark with the blue light of your phone etched onto your retinas. Do you really believe your emotions are your own? Look closer at the screen. Look at the way the light hits the lens in that viral clip of a soldier returning home at a football game. You see the grass, vibrant and unnaturally green under the stadium floodlights. You see the heavy fabric of the camouflage uniform, stiff with starch. But look at the sidelines. There is a man in a headset. He isn't looking at the reunion. He is looking at a stopwatch. He is timing the hug. He is waiting for the exact 3-second window where the crowd's roar hits a specific decibel level so the broadcast can cut to a commercial for insurance. This is the industrialization of the human tear. Every sob you've ever choked back while watching a random act of kindness was likely pre-approved by a legal department in a glass tower in Burbank. The machinery behind these moments is physical, cold, and meticulously maintained. Consider the hidden camera prank, a staple of late-night television. You see a dusty wax museum. You see a group of tourists in cargo shorts and fanny packs smelling of sunscreen and overpriced hot dogs. They stand next to what they think is a silicone mold of a billionaire actor. But behind the fake wall, 3 meters to the left, there is a production trailer. Inside that trailer, the air is freezing, cooled by a high-output portable AC unit to keep the monitors from overheating. A producer with a half-eaten bagel in his hand watches 16 different angles. He sees the micro-sweat on the tourist's forehead, through a 4K pinhole lens hidden in the button of a nearby mannequin's shirt. The actor inside the statue is wearing a cooling vest under his costume, a network of plastic tubes pumping ice water over his skin so he doesn't faint. This isn't art. It is a biological experiment where you are the lab rat. The industry calls this earned media, but there is nothing earned about a trap. Think about the physical release form. No one ever talks about the paper. Before that surprised fan can ever have their face shown to millions. A production assistant, usually a 24-year-old in a black hoodie with a frayed clipboard, has to run out the moment the cameras stop rolling.
You make a lot of money with it. Hey, you gotta pay me, man. No, but you said a couple. You said you could sit for a couple. Yeah, I was about to say, just sit for a couple.
And their heart is hammering against their ribs like a trapped bird. They hand them a pen, a cheap plastic ballpoint pen. The paper is standard 20-pound bond. The ink is black. The fan signs away the rights to their own reaction in perpetuity across all known and future media, all because they were too overwhelmed to read the fine print. That signature is the final gear in the clockwork. Without that ink on that paper, the magic trick doesn't exist. Why does your brain fall for it every single time? It's a glitch in the hardware. For 99% of human history, if you saw a familiar face, it was someone from your tribe, someone who mattered to your survival. Your brain hasn't caught up to the last 100 years of mass media. When you see a face you recognize from a movie screen standing in a Starbucks, your amygdala doesn't care about the PR firm that leaked the location. It triggers a massive dump of dopamine and oxytocin. It's a chemical flood. Your pupils dilate so much they almost swallow the iris. Your palms get clammy. This is the fight or flight system being hijacked for marketing. The industry isn't just selling you a movie ticket. They are harvesting your neurochemistry to create a digital artifact that can be sold to advertisers. Look at the corners of the frame. Look at the blurred background. You'll see the security guard's hand resting on a holster or the publicist's eyes darting to the clock. They aren't witnessing a miracle. They are managing a livestock shipment. Let's talk about the geography of the setup. It always happens in liminal spaces, places of transition. Airports, malls, grocery stores, hospital waiting rooms. These are places where your guard is down. You are focused on your luggage, your shopping list, or your grief. You are vulnerable. The lighting in these places is usually harsh, flickering at 60 Hz, creating a subtle, invisible tension in your nervous system. Then, the celebrity appears. The contrast is violent. It's like a splash of cold water in a lukewarm bath. The production crew chooses these spots because the visual noise of a grocery store aisle makes the signal of the celebrity pop. It's a high-contrast emotional heist. You think you're seeing a person. You're actually seeing a high-definition Trojan horse designed to bypass your skepticism and deliver a brand message directly into your subconscious. Notice the sound design. In these videos, the audio is never raw. Even if it's a cell phone video, the post-production team will go in and boost the room tone. They want you to hear the gasp. They want the sound of the crying fan to be crisp, isolated from the hum of the air conditioning. They use a technique called side chaining, where the background noise ducks out of the way every time the fan speaks. It's a subtle, sonic manipulation that forces your brain to focus on the emotion. You aren't just watching a video. You are being funneled through a carefully constructed audio-visual corridor designed to lead you to one specific conclusion. This brand is human. But a brand is a legal fiction. It doesn't have a heart. It has a balance sheet. And that balance sheet requires your engagement to stay in the black. Look at the hands of the fans in these videos. They are almost always shaking. That tremor is a physical manifestation of a nervous system in overload. It's called a post-traumatic growth response on a miniature scale. The industry knows that if they can make you shake, you will remember the brand forever. They are literally tattooing their logo onto your hippocampus using your own stress hormones as the ink. It's a predatory relationship masquerading as a gift. You need to understand that the magic is just physics and psychology. It's the placement of a lens, the timing of a reveal, and the exploitation of a million-year-old tribal instinct. If you don't wake up to the mechanics of the manipulation, you aren't a viewer. You are a product being refined in real time. Subscribe and pay attention, because the next time you feel a lump in your throat while scrolling through your feed, you need to be able to see the wires. You need to be able to see the man with the stopwatch before he sees you. Think about the mirror neurons firing inside your skull right now. This isn't just a psychological concept, it is a biological hardwiring discovered by researchers like Giacomo Rizzolatti in the 1990s. When you watch that influencer weep over a brand-sponsored gift, your premotor cortex reacts as if you were the one holding the box. Your brain cannot distinguish between a person across a table and a person on a liquid crystal display. To your ancient, survival-driven grey matter, that pixelated face is a tribal member, a source of safety and shared resources. The marketers aren't just selling you a product anymore. They are harvesting your oxytocin. They are milking the very hormones that once ensured human cooperation in the Pleistocene era. Every time you feel that surge of warmth, that parasocial bond, a data center in Virginia records the spike in your engagement time. They are turning your evolutionary advantages into a massive, exploitable vulnerability. Look closer at the screen. Watch the way the light flickers. It pulses at a frequency specifically tuned to keep your pupils dilated, a state of physiological arousal that makes you more receptive to information. While you think you are relaxing with a video, your endocrine system is being hijacked. The sudden cuts, the rapid shifts in focus, the intentional use of high contrast colors, these are the levers of the dopaminergic system. You are caught in a loop where the reward is the next hit of simulated intimacy. This is the final piece of the puzzle. The realization that the digital environment is no longer a tool you use, but a predatory ecosystem that uses you. The internet has become a cacophony of engineered lies and high-definition hallucinations, a constant barrage of fake intimacy designed to pick your pocket while you're too emotional to notice. You need a place where the noise stops and the raw mechanics of the world are laid bare. Subscribe to this channel and make this your quiet sanctuary of truth in an age of synthetic connections. The data doesn't lie. Companies are now using facial coding software to analyze your micro-expressions through your front-facing camera in real time. They know when your lip twitches in disgust or when your eyes widen in surprise before you are even consciously aware of the feeling. They are mapped out, measured, and sold to the highest bidder. Most people will keep scrolling, falling for the next manufactured, authentic moment or the next tearjerker designed in a boardroom. They are the harvest, the raw material for a global machine of behavioral modification. But you now see the code. You have peered behind the curtain and seen the copper wires and the cooling fans. You are part of a select few who actually understand the biological strings being pulled behind the glass. Subscribe to join the circle of those who refuse to be managed, those who choose to see the framework rather than the illusion. The window for genuine human autonomy is closing at a terrifying velocity. We are entering an era of AI-generated influencers who never age, never tire, and are programmed with the perfect psychological profile to exploit your specific neuroses. By this time next year, the algorithms will know your emotional triggers better than your own mother does. They will predict your loneliness before you feel it and sell you the cure before you know you're sick. You have a very narrow window to decouple your biology from their balance sheets. If you do not learn to recognize the mechanics of the manipulation today, if you do not build a wall between your instincts and their interfaces, the system will swallow you whole. The machine has no soul, it has no mercy, and once it has mapped every neuron in your head, it will have no exit. Wake up or become the data point they've always wanted you to be. Your brain is a legacy system running prehistoric software in a 5G world. The corners of the puzzle were the red dots on your notifications and the infinite scroll that never hits a floor. The edges were the facial recognition sensors and the haptic vibrations that mimic a heartbeat. But now, as the final pieces snap into place, the big picture is finally visible, and it is far more haunting than mere surveillance. It is a mirror. The tech giants are not just watching you, they are building a digital twin of your nervous system in a server farm where the cooling fans scream in a constant, low-frequency hum. Your DNA didn't evolve to handle a stimulus that refreshes every 6 milliseconds. Evolution moves at the pace of shifting tectonic plates, but the algorithm moves at the speed of light. You are being hacked at the hardware level, right down to the nucleus accumbens where your ancestors once found the drive to survive the winter. Now, that same drive is being hijacked to keep your